For those, thank you so much for tapping in with us tonight. We are super excited for another episode of our new season of Indie Talks. Of course, I am your host, Aasha Lewis Redway, and my beautiful co-host,
Danielle Mix.
all right, like you already know, with Indie Talks, listen, you don't know who's stopping by.
You never
So
know.
listen.
Right.
So listen, we talk to nothing but the best, okay? Because we always got to keep it real over here on this platform. So
Guys.
tonight we are sitting and talking with the wonderful and talented Dexter Kelly. What's going
What's
on?
up? What's up?
What's up? So
Yeah.
we is not gonna delay you. We is gonna jump right into this because I'm super excited for this conversation and everything that you got going on. So first of all, let's of course, just kind of talk to us and kind of give us, for those who may know, those who may not know, in regards to your musical journey and how you got started, and and basically that moment where you just like, oh my goodness, I have to make this my career, take it
Right.
serious, all the
Right.
above.
Right. Wow. That is that's a good question. So, I'm Dexter Kelly. You call me Dex. Most people know me as Dex. I'm from Pasadena, California. I currently live in Los Angeles, California. And yeah, so where did I start making music? So I played instruments when I was younger. Had all type of musical lessons, piano, drums, the cello. I played it all. I
Okay,
did a lot of,
cello.
guitar, right? So, I was an athlete my whole life growing up. I played all type of sports. So that was really my identity growing up, was more on the athletic side. That's what people knew me for in my city. Um, yeah, so I never really, from when I was little, I always knew I wanted to be something, something big. I didn't know exactly what it was. I thought, it was more in the sports world. I was trying to go to the league and be this and that, but I always had a passion for music, for rapping, for writing. From since high school, we used to freestyle, and so I always had like, I was always really good with wordplay, and growing up as an athlete, I wasn't really exposed to anything, music deeper than like freestyle and with the homies and stuff. Like I never took it serious, And then I was always gifted at writing, just from high school to middle school. I was always just a good writer. I just like wordplay, and so when I was in college, I started, to play around. I started to play around with music and like, made a couple of songs. Nothing serious, but I just enjoyed it. I had a passion for it. I was like, okay, like I like this, feels good. I like this. Where I went to school in Oregon, the University of Oregon, Scodex. It wasn't much to do up there besides, we would go to football practice, go to school, and then just be at the crib. So me and my roommates, shout out my roommates, Lamar, Jelante, Red, who was an adopted roommate, Mac, we would just, people would pull up too, but we would just always be rapping, freestyling. Like that's just what we did. Um, and then I actually started making a couple songs with my boy Terry. Shout out my boy Terry. He was like one of the first people I made music with, like on a garage band or
Hmm.
actually that's a lie. I made a couple songs when I was when I was in like middle school, or like my homie Ethan's house. We made a couple songs on like garage band when I was like young, but like I really didn't understand what I was doing. I was just doing it, for fun.
Mhm.
Like
Right.
so after college, after I was done with football, it was literally like the month after. Like I graduated in December and January. I was like, just going to the studio and being around, I had friends that were already taking music serious. Shout out my boy Brad. I don't know if he's still on here, but he's the one who I really started like taking it serious with. He taught me a lot about, just how to record, how to sing, he's very musically gifted. So very thankful for what he taught me in my very early stages, because I really didn't know nothing about how to make a music, how to record in the booth, how to, vocally, how to range and everything. So I I started making a few songs, started going to the studio, and I was like feeling myself, like I was good at it. And so I was like, okay, like, man, I could do this shit for real. Like, and so just kept getting better, practicing, singing, rapping, just being in the studio. Like, anything that you want to be good at, you have to put the work in, you have to dedicate that time,
For sure.
So I was just, in there, and like I said, I just made a couple of songs, and I was just like, hey, this is hard. Like, I'm showing my homies and stuff, and they like, okay, like, yeah, Dex, like, like this ain't bad. And so I just kept getting better, kept practicing. And I'm not gonna lie though, it was a song that I had made, a couple songs, but in my early stages, like first few 6 months. And that's when I was like, okay, like I'm gonna make music, because I'm listening to it, and I'm like, bro, I'm harder than half these people out right now. Like, like what it's gonna sound like if I took it serious, if I, got with a proper engineer, proper,
Mhm.
just team around me. And so from then, I just went full throttle with it. It's one of those things you can't half step it. And I feel like I kind of, growing up and being a football was like I said, my main identity. And like just kind of looking at my college career and just my whole athletic experience in general, I feel like I kind of half stepped it. I wasn't fully in it. My heart wasn't in it. So when your heart isn't in it, it's kind of like, what are you doing for real? Like
Right.
it's not even worth it. You're not gonna get the results that you want. So I told myself I'm not gonna do that with music or with any of my entertainment career path. I was like, okay, I'm gonna really learn how to do this. I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna be coachable. I'm gonna take this serious. And now we're here. Now I'm getting some attention. Getting some love, getting some positive feedback. So it's still early for me too. I've only been doing music. What's today? What is it? March? I guess two, almost like 2.5. Oh shit, I guess, what is it, 2024? I started 2021, January
Okay.
2021, so I guess 3 years now.
Okay. That's what's
So I'm still finding myself through the music, still finding the sound,
up.
still trying, experimenting, with new everything. Just, I gotta continue to get better. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And with that, with you finding your sound, what is that? How has that process been over the course of like the last 3 years?
It's
Because like your
yeah.
sound is like it's a fusion of like different things. So how do you
hmm
find the correct sound that's for you?
I don't see. And that's something I've like struggled with. I've overthought a lot about what songs I should
Mhm.
drop, because I'm so versatile. Like you said, like it's a lot of different sounds all in one. And so being that versatile has you overthinking a lot, because you're like, oh, like maybe they'll like this, maybe they'll like this, but it's not really about what people like. It's about what I like.
Yeah.
And if I continue to just keep that mindset and doing, obviously, I want to please my fans and anybody who's listening to me. But if I've gotten this far based off what I like, I gotta just keep doing that. But I don't think it's necessarily finding that sound. I think it's just continuing to get better, at each sound, to until it's like, okay, this is cohesive. This sounds right. It feels right. I go off the feeling, So if it feels right, I'm gonna put it out, So
Right.
whether people, somebody's going to be able to relate to it. Somebody might not relate to this song, but they might relate to that song. So I don't never want to limit myself and my capabilities, especially this early in my career, because I don't know where my sound's gonna go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And like just So a follow up with that, like you're so like I know you work with a producer. Do you create like your songs based on the beat that the producer gives you, or do you just like write it out of anywhere and just like try to see what beat fits with what you're writing?
yeah, yeah. It's so I'm a writer. Like I write a lot. I write notes every day. I write for other artists. I want to, like I said, that's really like what I feel like I'm gifted at, is writing. So I've had songs that I've written in my notes, and then they'll just be sitting there, or ideas, concepts. It could just be 2 bars, and then I get some beats, and this is one way. I get some beats, and I go back and try to like match the lyrics with the beats, or ideas with the beats.
Okay.
So that's one way of going about it. Another way is like actually making the beat first, or being in the session where we're making beats, and from there I'll just try to find the words, the melodies to go through it, to go with the beat. um and yeah, and then people always ask me that, like, how do you like come up with this hook or this, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it kind of just comes to me, like, as humbly as I can say it, like, words and like feelings that I write based off past experience, past feelings, past relationships, past emotions, and try to make it um as not as relatable as possible, but something that I feel like people can all understand.
Yeah.
Words. I I know what that feels like. So and I'll just kind of go from there.
Okay. And the one thing that I definitely love of the fact is that you saying that you're making music, not only that you feel like your fans will navigate to you with, but the fact of what you want for yourself. Can you kind of
Mhm.
talk about a little bit more, kind of diving into you setting apart mainstream, artists and hip hop artists in regards to how you collaborate and fuse your music? Like, what's the tone for that and how you set that apart?
Um, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that one more time? I think I
Oh,
right.
I'm sorry, your phone went
Oh,
out a little bit.
okay. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that question? I think I understood, but can you say it one more time?
Yeah, of course, of course. So you talked about basically, so obviously your music is, you have a different fusion of different sounds because you said that you wanted versatility. So
Hmm.
obviously the fact that your fans you can be able to provide music that your fans like, and also for mainly what you like and what you want to give to the audience.
Right.
Kind of talk about your music and how it's set apart from like the mainstream traditional artists
Yeah.
into other hip hop artists, and how that sets you apart from both of those sectors.
Well, I think just me being an individual and who I am, I'm different from any other person on this earth. So
Mhm.
by that, using that and knowing that, the music I make is me, So it's a reflection. It's a reflection, and it's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's just another. It's a way for me to express Dexter Kelly in my own head, of how I want people to perceive me, or of how I really am, So just me being a different individual from those other artists
Mhm.
allows my music to show that, from just my voice, the texture, the tone is different from anybody else, just like any other artist is different from the next artist. So I feel like artists all have their own individuality. In the yeah,
Yeah.
that word.
Individuality, yeah.
So it's like having that, everybody's different. So it's like, okay, how can you show the world, show yourself,
Yeah.
who you are in each song, in each lyric, and each, the way you say something, because we're all individuals. We all have different qualities that make us who we are. So it's just being able to express me, and the genuine, my, like, being genuine of who I am and being honest with people, because it's a whole lot of the music industry is tricky because there's a
Yeah.
lot of people talking about stuff
Same
that they don't really
experience.
live,
Living
and
exactly.
which is cool, like, do you, man, like, you feel me, like, I've said stuff too. I remember, it's funny, like, I remember like talking to one of my friends, and like when I was like first starting, and like I'm talking about like this and that, and like, kind of flexing, right? Like, oh, like, I'm in this car, I'm in this whoopty whoop, I got money, whatever. And one of my boys was like, bro, like, you not there yet. Like, why don't you, like, that's not you. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you even talking about that? And to me, it was kind of like, bro, like, I feel like music, like, I believe words are super powerful,
Mhm. Yeah.
like, words
Manifestation.
literally create the life you want to live, right? And so it's like me talking about stuff that I might not have yet, or where I want to go in life. You know, to me, it's just manifesting. Like, I want to be there. I want to be doing that. Like, I know I've said something in a song where I'm in this car, this doing this, and you know, I'm on the yacht, whatever. You know, not saying that I haven't been in fancy cars and yachts and all that, but like, you know, even though it might not be mine that I own yet, I know one day I'm gonna play that song a few years from now and be like, yeah, this is me. I was just talking it when I already knew, because I have an imagination. I already know where my life's gonna go. You know what I'm saying? So
It
that's kind
ain't
of how I
lying,
feel
cause
about.
you know it's I thought you was talking about you got a couple bodies and people
Yeah,
saying stuff like hold
right,
on
right.
like did you
Nah,
really
nah,
thought
nah.
that?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not about that life.
Uh,
You
We
know,
not we
I'm a
not
lover.
we not
manifesting that.
I'm a lover
manifesting
boy.
that.
I'm a lover boy. You know, I want to spread love. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever want to give off any, you know, negativity. Because, like I said, like words is
Yeah.
powerful. You see it with rappers now that, you know, have unfortunately passed away or been in situations. Like I said, like words are powerful. Shit really happens. You know what I'm saying? So I try to be I'm more mindful of that now as I'm creating. You know,
Mhm.
kind of at first I was just, you know, kind of saying stuff, but now I'm actually like I'm understanding life. I'm understanding myself and how, you know, the power of God, the power of myself, and seeing how where I can take this and how influential music is. You know, it's like music brings people together.
Yeah.
Music, you know, music is it's very spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Like in a sense of like just being able to produce, you know, a sound that makes people feel some type of way. You know what I mean? So whether it's good or bad, you putting out that energy. So you just being mindful of that.
Yeah. And speaking of you being a lover boy, let's get into your latest project.
Right.
So what you just actually released this past Valentine's Day. So
Mhm.
what was like the whole process with that? Were there any like particular events that happened that influenced the
Mhm.
making of this?
Yeah.
She's trying to
Yeah. Yeah.
get some tea.
Yeah. I'm like, listen, I'm
Right.
like,
Y'all gonna start pulling lyrics up on me. Nah, but that project is funny because all those songs are like two and a half, 2+ years old. Like those are some of the first songs I actually made. Not the very first, but like that. Thanks to you. Like that was one of. I remember I made that my first year. Like those is 2021. You know, like when I wrote those, and I don't know. I must have been going through something, or like you know. But like I said, it's like past emotions too that I'm
yeah,
able to express because, you know, you get over stuff, you forget stuff, but like you don't, it's still there, you know. And like for me, it's just like writing is a way of coping with that, is a way of like relieving stress, a way of,
yeah,
you know, self-expression relieves, you know, that just makes me feel better. So like I might have wrote a couple of those songs. I did write a couple of those songs, you know, like couple of years ago, and I'm just now putting it out. And I don't know why I was just like I just been like I said my first couple of years of like making music, like I have so many songs in my phone, and it's like just me overthinking of like how I want people to perceive me, how I want my image, you know, and just the word, like I said, the words I'm putting out, you know, and so those songs in particular, I wrote, like I said, I must have been going. I don't remember exactly, you know, what relationship or emotions or what person it was about,
Mhm.
but it was more of like a general, you know, these are feelings that I've had,
mm,
you know what I'm saying, and I'm putting it on words and singing it or rapping it or producing it, and so I just felt like it was a good time. I was gonna drop those songs probably regardless, but like I felt like I wanted to do it, so it's like I wanted to do it in a way to where it was like, okay, next year I can come back and remember. Like it has a theme to it, you know, the love theme. So it's like I wanted to drop it around Valentine's Day so people can relate because, you know, the whole vibe of it is kind of on some, you know, it's kind of on some fuck love. Like it's a song called "Fuck Love,"
Mhm.
you know. So it's like it's kind of you know, I consider that EP like, you know, like my toxic lover boy type of era, you know
You
what I'm
don't
saying? So
remember what
You
Y'all trying, hey,
who? Like who?
y'all
Oh,
trying, yeah, I see what y'all doing. I
I'm
see what y'all
kidding.
doing. Yeah, I haven't had a lot of relationships, honestly, but the ones I did, when I do, when I am, and it was somebody, it's very passionate. I'm a very passionate person,
Mhm.
so it's like, I'm a real person. It's real emotion. It's real life stuff going on, real life feelings that I'm having. And so it's being able to, put that out and have other people relate, is
Right.
is just, it's for myself, but if you can relate, that's cool too. You know what I'm saying? So
So
I don't remember exactly what, like I said, like you'd have to like maybe ask me some lyrics or ask me a song, but that's just a side of me. You know what I'm saying? It's like being a versatile artist. I have all these different sides I'm trying to express. So that's what I love about music, because it allows me to. I can take on these different personas and show people different angles of my life and what's in my head. So.
okay. So, in
Mhm.
regards to this EP, and obviously, like you said, you're very versatile. But what about this EP that just made it just? It was obviously it was open. You were vulnerable. You
Mhm.
expressed some things in different capacities in regards to relationships. What would you say was the hardest part about expressing yourself on this EP?
Mhm. Um, I would say, like you said, just being vulnerable and like not caring what people think about that. Like, not caring what my homies might think, or what a girl might think of me saying this or that about, like me being sensitive. You know what I mean? So I think that yeah, what was the hardest part? The hardest part is getting this shit ready to put out, really. Like, like getting, like, just actually putting it out and being like, okay, this is me, this is what I was going through, and showing the world that, because it's out. So it's like, you can, you might not relate to every song or every lyric, but it's gonna be something in there that you're like, damn, I felt that.
Mhm.
And when I'm actually recording, you can hear it, the way I'm singing it, the way I'm
Mm-hmm.
rapping it, like you can hear the emotion.
Yeah.
So I think that's a pretty cool to like see, come to fruition and come to life, and having people be like, damn, I felt that.
Yeah. And being that this EP is rooted in love, what
Hmm.
what is your love language out of the five?
Oh man, remind me of the five. Is touch,
So yeah, so it's active service, words of
service,
affirmation,
affirmation.
receiving gifts, quality
Yeah,
time, physical touch.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Um, I'd say a little bit of everything, but if I had to choose, um, I would probably say touch and quality time. You know, that's that's probably my top
mm,
two. I'm not big on gifts. Like, gifts are cool, but it's like, you know, it's almost like you can't buy people's love.
yeah.
That part.
So it's like, in terms of love language, I don't even I guess that's a love language, but it's like, okay, like, a quality time is real. You can actually feel me. You can actually, feel my energy, feel my presence, and like me spending my time with you is love. Because like I don't just spend my time with anybody. So it's like, we don't have a long time on this earth. So it's like you gotta really be careful on who you giving your energy,
Ooh,
who you giving your presence to. You know what I'm saying? But
That's what I know.
definitely touch too. I like, yeah. that's
So
that's
speaking
one,
of
yeah.
time,
Mhm.
and so let's kind of talk about how you're balancing, because obviously as an artist you're looking to
Mhm.
progress, and you have amazing music and you're going to progress even more further.
Mhm.
Talk about how you feel like you're learning at this present time to be able to balance as an artist, a creative, a person who may be in a relationship, or a person who may be a family person. So kind of talk about that balance, and how you, especially as a Black man, how do
Mhm.
you be able to find yourself in a mental health space that's safe for you?
Right. No, mental health is huge, is key, and I'm learning that as I'm trying to juggle all these different things. and I've struggled, you know, like I'm overwhelmed a lot. You know, I felt overwhelmed the more recently than ever, just because I'm trying to do so much. Like I'm going hard, you know. So it's like that comes with new levels of you know, pushing your mental, pushing your brain to being able to handle that. And so I'm a pretty adaptable person. I've always been a type of person that can juggle multiple things and, you know, do a lot. But I think it's just kind of dealing with all these different people, different energies on the daily,
Mm-hmm.
and like finding ways to, you know, de-stress and kind of just stay peaceful, because I'm, you know, value my peace a lot. So it's like being able to, you know, go and shoot, you know, doing the acting, doing the music, working, dealing with my family, dealing with women or friends. It's a lot. And I'm finding even social media, you know, like that's a whole job in itself too. So it's like
Wow.
just finding that balance is definitely crucial, because if you overwork yourself or over, you know, you gonna burn yourself out, you know, and I won't be able to have the mental space to create. So I'm aware of that and aware of what, you know, where I'm giving my time. Like I said, where I'm giving my time, I take very serious, because I don't, like I said, I don't want to burn myself out. I want to stay in this free, creative, imaginative space that I am able to create in. And so it's just, yeah, it's just putting yourself first, really. You know, like you gotta put yourself first. Put your mental first. You know, if you feel like you don't wanna, if you feel like you can't make it to something, you feel like, you know, you don't want to be around these people right now, like don't.
Yeah.
Like take that time for yourself. Like, you know, put your phone down,
They,
pray, meditate, you know, like recharge is what I like to do, you know. So I like to go to the beach. That's my biggest thing in terms of like relieving stress, is just literally going to the beach and just laying out, walking around, not doing nothing. It's just very refreshing for my soul, for my mental. So, you know, especially living in LA, it's like all type of shit going on out here. You know, so it's like being able to find that quiet time is huge, or else you just gonna be running yourself to the ground, you know, and not even realize you doing it, because you're so
Right.
caught up in life and, you know, what's going on with the next person. So yeah.
okay. And before we start to wrap up,
Hmm.
what like to ask this question: what is like one piece of advice for anybody who's like in the industry, um, or who's looking to get into it, or maybe who's maybe had like the similar paths of having to choose between sports or something else?
Mm.
What is like one piece of advice that you can give to somebody?
I would say figure out what you're passionate about, what you love to do,
Mm-hmm.
and don't let nobody change that. You know, don't let nobody tell you that you can't do it, that it's too hard. You know, I realize that like people will project their insecurities, project their failures on you. Like, oh, you can, from family, firsthand, the family, the friends, close friends, be like, what are you, like, you know, you got to be okay with looking down. You got to be okay with putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
And it's like this super confidence you have to have. Like, that's really what I'm understanding. It's like, I'm doing this shit, and it's like, that's it. Like, I'm going to keep doing this shit. I'm going to keep putting myself out there. I'm not afraid to look dumb, you know. So I would just tell whoever is watching this, whoever hears this, you know, just have that super confidence in whatever you're doing, from music to art to, you know, making movies to accounting to shit, being a teacher. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Just knowing, being very confident in what you're doing, and knowing that you were meant to do this to the best of your ability, you know, and just trusting God, you know, trusting God's plan
Yeah.
for you, you know. You're going to go through it. You're going to go through the storms. If it's worth having, the storms will come. You feel me? Like, you're going to go through it, you know. But it's like, if I wasn't, like, even when I talking about being overwhelmed, it's like, that's a great space to be in. I was talking to my friend about it, and I'm like, bro, like, it's like I got all this shit going on. I'm trying to do this and that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you know, I'm not stressed, but it's just like it's a lot. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I asked for this though,
Yeah.
so it's like
Mm,
what I can't be feel sorry for myself. I gotta figure it out mentally. Like, okay, if this is really what I want, this is what comes with it. So, like I said, just having that super confidence in yourself, that super confidence in God, and knowing that you doing what you're supposed to be doing because you love it. You know what I'm saying? He not gonna put nothing in your heart that he wasn't gonna give you the tools to succeed. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
for sure.
And
That was very.
before we head out, first of all,
Mhm.
we want to say thank you so much for just joining with us, having this
Mhm.
Yeah.
conversation with us,
Yes.
saying
Yes.
some things and giving some gems and different
Yeah.
tools. Now, obviously, like you said, there's a lot of things that you're working on. So before we head out, just kind of talk about any type of future projects or anything that are coming out. Is this leading to an album? Are you looking to release some more singles or another EP? What's going on there?
Or
Yeah. Yeah. So the plan is to keep dropping. Like I said, I was in a state of overthinking where I'm like, damn, should I put this out? But I'm on a now how I'm feeling. I just want to drop and continue to drop and continue to get feedback, continue to get better. And building my catalog, but singles. I'm gonna drop a lot of singles this year, more EPs, no album yet. Um, I feel like it's too early for that still, but like EPs, like I have a lot of songs that like I feel like go together. So like little 3 song, maybe another couple 3 song EPs I'm working on.
summer.
Springtime. I got this EP called Grown Woman that I'm planning to drop. You feel me? Stay tuned. Um, I got some singles coming up that are different on different spectrums of the music scale. So it's like, from the rap to the singing, just showing people, my talent and like what different angles I can come with before I'm just like, okay, because people tell you, oh, you need to choose a lane, you need to do this. That's the way to blow up. You got to be consistent in this lane, which I understand. I feel like I'll get there to where it's like, okay, like I like this sound, I'm gonna run with this sound.
Mhm.
But I feel like right now, I'm not signed. Well, I'm signed to 24/7. Um, but I'm not signed to any major label to where it's like I don't have anybody telling me I can't put this out right now. So I know maybe one day it might be, where, oh, okay, we want this from you. This is what you're getting paid to do. So right now I want to just show everybody, the different sides and be able to be versatile and let them kind of choose what the best music they like from me. You know what I'm saying? And the different styles and all that. So just plan to keep dropping different sounds. Like, you got the Thanks to You EP. But it's like I have a whole different bag I'm gonna drop. I have a whole different type of style that I wanna share. So just being consistent. Somebody said consistency is key. Yes,
It
consistency
is.
is key. So just being consistent. That's all I'm worried about right now. So if it has to be singles right now, if that's all I can give you right now, is singles
Mm.
and singles and singles,
Right.
until I get to where I can drop albums and more EPs. Then yeah, that's where it's going right now. So I'm excited. I'm so
Yeah.
excited for, this new just people hearing new sounds and continuing to grow with me and being on this journey with me. So got other stuff coming out. Got my clothing brand's gonna drop soon, Crown Dreams. I'm excited
Okay.
for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah, shout out
forget to
Crown
send us
Dreams.
the link.
No,
Right.
I got you. Hey, yeah. So I'm excited for that. And then yeah, new visuals, collabs, features, all that. So, I'm excited. It's a lot of big shit coming. I got different films and stuff coming out as well that I'm featured in. So I'm excited.
You a
Music
busy
in that
man.
as well. I'm telling you, I'm telling you. So,
Listen.
just staying focused. Like I feel like I'm in a very um focused wave right now to where it's like I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
I see it happening, weekly. I see myself getting better by the day. I see myself understanding where I can take this. And so just keeping my foot on the gas, that's all I'm worried about.
Listen. A man with a vision, because if you don't got
Yeah.
vision, you don't got
You
nothing.
ain't got
Okay.
nothing. You gotta see it to believe it. So just understanding that like it's already done. Like I'm literally just living I'm just living it out right now, like just
Right.
enjoying the process for real because I already know where it's gonna go. I already know where God's gonna take me. So if I stay, stay true to myself, stay true to my work ethic, then
Gonna
it's
keep
gonna keep
happening
rolling.
for
So
you.
That's gonna
right.
prepare you for like when more bigger and bigger and better.
Exactly. It's God gonna take you through different phases to teach you something through the next phase. He not gonna
Sure.
leave you somewhere where that you can't handle. Like even I'm talking about this, like I know that I was built for this, so it's like I don't even stress. I try not to stress about nothing. Like I said, because I already know it's gonna happen. I'm just living it out and putting the work in. So
Go through the
you know,
process.
going through the process, enjoying it, but you gotta the key is being thankful, being happy through the process.
Right.
Like you gotta be thankful every day. I'm thankful to just be here and getting this attention,
Yeah.
being able to talk to y'all, to express myself, being at this stage. Because I'm gonna look back one day like, oh, remember, you know what I'm saying? Like now I'm doing whatever whoop de whoop podcast or interview, but it's like this is all you gotta go. You can't cheat it. Have to go through the process. You have to go through each step to get to where you know what I'm saying. So I'm just enjoying it.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
you continue to enjoy it day by day. So,
Yes.
first of all, Dexter Kelly, thank you so much for being with us, guys. For those who
Yeah,
may
grateful.
just came in or just, you listen, do not forget, please make sure you go purchase
Mm-hmm.
the latest EP,
Yep.
Thanks to You.
Right.
It is on
Thanks to
all
you.
DSPs. Please make
Yes.
sure you go get it and support because being an independent artist, as he said, he's he's indie. It's his.
Right.
So we want to know that listen, it takes a lot to be an independent artist and it takes money to support them. So please,
Mm-hmm.
you got good music, y'all better go ahead and go
Check
and
it out.
purchase.
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for having
Yeah.
me.
Of course, we thank you so much and keep doing what you
Thank
do.
you.
All
Much
right.
love.
Enjoy your night.
Okay. Y'all have a
Yeah.
good one. All right. Bye.
See
Bye.
ya.
Okay. See.
The Zoom. The Zoom, the Zoom, Zoom.
Zooming.
Yes. Guys, thank you so much for doing
Yeah.
such a sweetheart, like amazing energy, love the vibe, love it. It's like he definitely fits exactly with what music he's putting out there. Like it's amazing. So we wish him nothing but the best
Yeah.
in his
Sometimes I'm sorry to
no
cut
no
you, but
go
it's like, sometimes
ahead.
we're like busy with things and we're just like, oh my gosh, like God, why? But it's just like that's a good thing, I'd rather be super busy than just sitting around not doing
Like
anything.
ooh,
Yeah.
so nobody called me today.
Yeah.
Like nobody checked
Yeah.
in, nothing.
Yeah.
So I mean it's amazing because and I think the one thing definitely that you said is understanding um and as he's progressing, he's understanding what it is like, what that he wants to put out, what lane, and not allowing people to direct him and say, well, you need to do this, you need
Yeah.
to do that. He's just like, you know what, I'm gonna do this and we're gonna fill it out, we're gonna
Yeah.
feel what a groove
Yeah.
is. And I
Yeah.
think that's okay, especially as an artist when you're starting out, because you still got to find yourself, you still got to be aligned with certain things. And then once you get into that groove and you have that aspect and exactly, like it's like ooh, tunnel
Mhm.
vision, like
Mhm.
boom.
Yeah.
So amazing. So we thank you guys for tuning in with us tonight for Dexter Kelly. Tune in next week. So next week we're taking a little we're doing a little something different where we have Twila Amar who's going to be joining us, who is one of writers and chief and editor for the Jasmine brand.
Okay.
And so she's going to give us some of the insight and some of the entertainment news that she actually puts out when it comes to a lot of the artists in the entertainment world, and and be able to handle that life and being on the carpets and things of that nature. So
Okay. Good
I
question.
can't wait to have that conversation.
Yeah. Question.
So yes, that conversation is going to be good. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight. Listen, you already know I am your host, Aasha Lewis Redway, and of course my beautiful
Danielle
co-host.
Meeks. Oh, Leroy Russell says, "How are you ladies
Oh,
doing tonight? We are
oh hi.
you.
I didn't see the question.
Thank you for tuning in. Come check us out next week, each and every Thursday. We'll go ahead and
Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight. So, guys, you already know it's nothing but real music, real style, and real people over here. So, guys, it don't get no realer than this. So, until next week.